Hey guys, today we're here with Bill O'Hanton. And Bill, could you share a little bit of what you do so that for this community of the digital insiders?
Well, it shocks people a little, but I've written 35 books. I've just signed a contract for my 36th.
So you've written 35 books. What topic, Bill?
Mostly on psychology kind of areas, although after I wrote about 20 books, people kept saying, how do you write books? How do I write a book? So I wrote a book on how to write a book.
Yeah, nice. So you have a book on how to write a book as well,
How to write a book, yes.
And by the way, did you already publish this one?
Yes, it's called Write is a Verb.
Write is a verb.
Yeah.
And from the other 35 books, which ones comes to your mind as a good, that you could mention for us?
I think the one that, in America probably is the most famous because it got me on Oprah. And
so you've been on Oprah.
I've been on Oprah. Featured with that book, which was called Do One Thing Different.
Nice. Do one thing different.
About making a small change to make a big difference in your life.
That's really great. But one of the reasons why I invite you here, because you're the successful author. You're out there with the, let's say, the traditional way of actually publishing, and so I suppose that by writing a book you are constantly raising your authority. You have speaking engagements, right?
Well, yes, I used to do. I spoke before I had a book, but I'd only make the money from speaking. And then when I had a book, I'd sell more books when I spoke. I'd get more speaking engagements when I wrote a book.
Yes.
So it sort of, went back and forth between it. And then I traveled around the world. I haven't been to Brazil yet, but I've traveled around the world to speak. And I traveled 3 or 4 times a month. And I became so tired of so much traveling that I decided that book writing was a good way to start to stay home. But I would explore other things to stay home. Not trading my time or having to be present. I mean, that's one of the things about a book. You write it, you sell it, people buy it, and they send you checks every once in a while. I really like that.
Yes.
But when I spoke, I had to be there to speak, to earn the money. So I wanted to look at other things of how could I still contribute to people in the world.
Yes.
Really do good things, get my message out, and still earn money when I didn't have to show up or put in time.
And how did you? What was the solution?
Well, it's always then extensions to what I was already doing. So audios.
Yes.
First I sold tapes. This was before, maybe a long time ago. Tapes, audio tapes, and then I went to CDs, and then I made DVDs, and then downloadable audios and videos, which is even easier because you don't have to ship anything, or both. I have both. And then started doing online courses.
Online courses.
Teleseminars.
Teleseminars?
Webinars.
Webinars, online courses, teleseminars.
Yeah, everything's, I'm not a very technical person. Someone once said, oh, you have a Mac computer. And I said, no, I don't have a computer. I have a Macintosh. That's why I have a Macintosh, because I don't know how to use a computer. So, but the tools are so easy now. Even someone like me can create an audio or a video, can easily put it online and make it for sale so easily that I got so excited. I have so much I want to share with the world. This is easy.
Nice. And can you give an example of one of your online courses that you actually put it out there?
Yes. I have a course on how to write a book and get it published, but
what is do you have an URL for that course? Because I suppose a lot of people want to write books, right?
Sure, yeah. Get your book.
You wrote 35 books, right? A lot of people procrastinate half of their life.
Well, and more than that.
Trying to write one book, right?
More than that. A friend came to me after I'd written a number of books, and he said, I have this great idea. And I said, you should write a book. And he said, I wouldn't know how to write a book. And I said, oh, it's easy. I'll tell you. And so I told him. He wrote a book. He got a $30,000 advance. He'd never written anything before.
Just for writing a book? Before he wrote
his first book. Yeah, they paid him in advance. So I thought, it not only works for me.
Because the coaching you did for him, right?
Right. And so I thought, I know how to do this, but I also know how to tell other people to do it.
Which is
now,
great.
I've coached over 100 books into publication. I've helped not 100 people because some have written 5 or 10 books.
Yes.
I've helped many, many people learn how to write a book and get it published and write fast because people are so busy, they don't want to spend too much time writing. And so I've developed a system that really helps people think about their book clearly, get their book written fast, and get it published, either self-published or find a publisher for it. And so You can find out more about that at getyourbook.written.com.
Getyourbook.written.com is a great that's delivered digitally as an info product, right?
Yes, that's exactly right. They can take it at their own rate and their own pace. It has audios, videos, checklists, and worksheets. You have to do a little work.
Yes. Now, we have a lot of people on our audience, you know, like in the digital side, they are great experts like yourself in all sorts of stuff, and they are great authors as well. Some people written books, and they are like eager to get the message out there. So now you are on the top of your game, right? You're like, you know, like, but what would you tell them if they are to start from scratch right now and they don't know what you know right now?
So if they've already written a book, or if they've never written it, or maybe both?
Most of them, some of them, they are already written a book. They want you, or they have some material that they want to get out there, some message that they want to get out there. What would you say?
I have a simple formula, but it makes more sense in English than it does in Portuguese, perhaps. And so the simple formula is carve your platform. And carve your platform. What they say in book publishing, when I went to publish a book one time, they said, Bill, we're not so sure, the publisher said, we're not so sure about your book, but we love your platform. What's a platform? And that's the buzzword in publishing that raises you above everyone else.
Okay.
Platform. So how do you build your platform? You carve your platform. And so that you use connections.
Okay.
So we just made a connection here.
Yes, true.
And so now we have one more connection. Each of us have one more connection with someone who's interesting, and who knows what will happen from that connection. Then you have to have accomplishments.
Yes.
Did you learn a new system of stock market or real estate, or helping people with their anxiety? If you have accomplishments in that area, people start to listen to. Like I say, I have 35 books, and you say, I'd like to talk to him and get some information for people that I help.
Accomplishments or results, right?
That's right. So carve, C, connections. A is accomplishments. R is relationships. Not just have connections, because you can meet somebody, but you have no relationship with them.
Yes.
You've done some nice things for me. I've done a few nice things for you. We've been here for a weekend. I did some little process with you that you enjoyed.
Yes, and by the way, let me actually explain what was the process.
Yes.
For a long time, I always been interested in hypnotism. It's been a hobby, and you are a specialist in hypnotism as well. In fact, you have a product on
I do have a product on that, called solution-oriented hypnosis, which is a different approach to hypnosis.
And basically, one of the things is that I actually asked you to hypnotize me, right?
I did, yeah.
And
you're a really good hypnotic subject. You really went into a nice place.
It's one of, I think hypnotism is incredible for me, and it's like, for me, it's a place that it can bring me to a state of relaxation and alert at the same time, which helps me to as an entrepreneur sometimes focus on the important things rather than just going around like desperate to solve so this is great, and that has been a kind of a dream for me to learn hypnotism. And when I met you, and I know that you're you're a strong book publisher, and so actually author. And you actually, now I'm doing your course.
Yeah, that's right.
And do you have the URL for that course as well?
That course has a more complicated URL, and it's only for private so far, but I will get you one later. Maybe we can put it in the video.
Okay, good.
But a simpler one. But it's interesting because all weekend we've been here at a conference, and you have some knowledge that I don't have. And so you've taken the time. I did a hypnosis with you, and you took the time to say, I think you could do this a little, and I think you could do this a little. So we're developing a relationship where we start to like each other, trust each other, we do favors for each other. It's not just knowing one another, it's really developing a relationship. And I have relationships with people in publishing.
Yes.
I have a relationship with people in internet marketing. I have a relationship with speakers. Yes. And so it's all those relationships become an asset for you.
Yes.
So connections, accomplishments, relationships, visibility. And this is where you are much better. I mean, having a book out and being on Oprah, which is a big program in the US and around the world, that was good visibility. Being in a big newspaper one time, that was big. I was on radio shows. Yes. Anything you can do to become more visible, because all you're doing when you've written a book is, if you don't publish it, you're not visible at all. If you publish it, you're a little visible. But then the more places people can find out about you and your book, the more visible you are.
Would you say that the more visibility, the more authority
It goes together, yeah. It
Okay.
actually goes together. And then the last one of the CARVE in English,
Yes.
the last one is evidence. Because many people claim all these things,
Evidence.
but we know some people lie.
Yes.
We know some people brag more. But if you have evidence, say, you know, like, I want to show you a picture of the covers of the 100 books that I've put into publication. I want to show you a picture of me on Oprah. I want to show you my 35 books. A picture of me sitting with my 35 books. That's evidence.
Yes.
And then how many you sold, and whether you were on the bestseller list, or how many courses you sold, or how much. If you talk about money, it's a little strange sometimes to talk about money, but I made this much from selling this, and
Yes.
that's great. You know? So all those, I think anybody who has any products, anything they want to get out in the world, it's to carve your platform. Because if I walk into a room and there's 100 people milling around and I don't know who to pay attention to, if someone is standing on the platform and I can see their head above the whole crowd, they're more visible, and I think, oh, I probably want to talk to them, because I can't tell the difference between all the other people unless I know them personally. If you've got a good platform, you will be more successful.
Bill, thank you very much for
Thank
your
you,
wisdom
Erico.
and for your generosity for sharing these tips.
Thank you,
know,
Erico.
you are great in what you do. You know, like you are an expert in this book writing business, and I've been actually, you know, like very curious in how to know. You know, I made my business just online marketing. So, and it's always good to be able to sit here with someone that actually understands.
Very kind.
Understand the book publishing and can actually share some of these tips with
Thank you.
crowd.
And I've learned so much from you in the short time we've known each other. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Wow.